Hello everyone, this is Miss Chelsea and today we will be discussing classifying real numbers. Our lesson objective for today is to be able to classify real numbers. First of all, let's go back to 6th grade for a second and review the types of numbers. A natural number is a counting number, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. The whole numbers are the natural numbers and 0. So 0, 1, 2, so on. Integers, on the other hand, can be both positive and negative. So, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, you can keep going in both directions. Examples of these include the numbers 2, 91, 0, and -7. Now, all these types of numbers we just talked about are real numbers. A real number is any number that can be represented on a number line or by an infinite decimal expansion. So the decimal can continue on and on forever if we need it to. There are two major types of real numbers, rational numbers and irrational numbers. Let's talk a little bit about rational numbers first. Rational numbers can be written as a fraction or a ratio of two integers. A fraction is a numerical value that is a part of a whole. Now let's try an example. Decide if 2/5 is rational or irrational. Well, 2/5 is a fraction. It means you have 2 parts out of the 5 that make up a whole. Remember how we just said that rational numbers can be written as fractions? Well, that means fractions are rational numbers by definition. Therefore, 2/5 is a rational number. Now, let's consider the decimal 0.05. We want to write this as a rational number if possible, so let's put this number over 1, because we know that any number divided by 1 is the number you started with. Now, we want to turn our decimal into a whole number. We could do this by multiplying by 100, and that gives us a numerator of 5. We need to keep the value of the fraction the same, so we're going to do the same thing to the top and the bottom. We will multiply the denominator of 1 by 100 as well to get 100. Now we've got a fraction. And what did we just say about fractions? Fractions are always rational. That means that 0.05 has to be rational. Now, if you really wanted to, you could take 5 over 100 and simplify it by dividing the top and bottom by 5. That would give you a fraction of 1 over 20. Let's try another example now. Try typing 1/3 or 1 divided by 3 into a calculator. Write the result below. Firstly, we need to write it as an infinite series of numbers. I'm going to put 0.333 and then a little ellipses or 3 dots at the end. You can put as many 3's as you want, but you need to at least show that it is repeating, so you need to show 2 of them at least. We're also going to write this result as a repeating decimal in bar notation. Bar notation means write the decimal, but you're only going to write the repeating part once. Instead, you're going to draw a bar over the repeating digit or digits. This means 0.33333 continuing or 0.3 repeating is going to be a rational number because you can write it as a fraction. As a matter of fact, all repeating decimals are rational. Now let's look at another example. In this case, the integer -2. All integers can be written as a fraction with a denominator of 1. This means that all integers are rational. Since integers are positive and negative whole numbers, that means whole numbers like 0 and 7 must also be rational. Then, since whole numbers are all of the counting numbers plus 0, or the natural numbers plus 0, that means natural numbers are also rational. For example, 999 will be rational as well. Now keep in mind, we said that real numbers can be rational or irrational. We haven't talked about irrational numbers yet, but irrational numbers cannot be written as a fraction of two integers. They're the opposite of rational. One famous example of an irrational number is pi, which is 3.1415926, and it keeps going forever without ever repeating. Now, just like pi, all non-terminating, non-repeating decimals are irrational. So if a number doesn't end, doesn't repeat, it's irrational. That includes this number I just wrote. Now we're going to move on to some 8th grade math. Are square roots rational or irrational? First of all, let's consider the square root of 9. It looks a little something like this, with a radical and a 9 inside. Now, we know that 3 times 3 is 9, so the square root of 9 is 3. And since 3 is a whole number, we know it can be written as a fraction over 1, and so it is rational. That being said, we can also try taking some other square roots, like the square root of 64, which is 8, or the square root of 1/4, which is 1/2. When the radicand, or the number under the square root symbol, is a perfect square number or a fraction of two such numbers, the square root will be a rational number. Now, we know all about what happens when you have a perfect square number, but what happens when you have a number that's not a perfect square? Let's test this out in example 6. Let's consider the square root of 3. We know that there is no whole number or fraction that you can multiply by itself to get 3. So the square root of 3 will not give us a whole number. 3 is not a perfect square number. Let's find out what it is. Type it into the calculator. You should get that square root of 3 is 1.73205, and it keeps going on and on forever without repeating. Now, we need to decide if this number is rational or irrational. Since the decimal does not end or repeat, it has to be an irrational number. Keep in mind that all square roots of non-perfect squares will be classified as irrational numbers. So that's all for today, and I look forward to next time.